Welcome.
Hello.
Hello. Welcome to another week of the Critically Average podcast. That's Elijah Hill.
Yes.
I'm William Weber. Let's do this bad boy.
Oh, yeah. Let's get rolling.
Okay. So, you have any movie news for this week? I have a few. A few interesting
Let me turn
ones.
that off.
Gosh, how could you? You amateur.
I meant to do that right before, but there's a couple new trailers drop.
What'd you watch?
There's Venom.
Yeah.
There's a new Venom trailer.
Yep.
There was something else.
The Joker teaser?
There's a Joker teaser. I feel like I'm missing one.
How do you feel about the Joker teaser?
I don't know.
That's a good point.
I'm not gonna try to judge that one.
That's true. It's basically nothing except
Yeah.
for, confirming that Joaquin Phoenix is the Joker and the look,
Yeah.
maybe. Very, very, I don't know how to put it. It's strange,
Yeah.
the look. What?
It's right on the tip of my tongue. I just can't remember the other one I saw.
Oh, okay. I was wondering what
Because
they're
I'm pretty
contemplating.
sure it's a big movie.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I mean, Captain Marvel was last week.
Yeah. Phoenix.
Oh, Dark Phoenix?
Is that it? Dark Phoenix?
Oh.
I remember that one.
Did that come out? A trailer?
Yeah, the trailer came out for that one.
Ugh. Not a fan of the whole X-Men universe thing.
Yeah. Hopefully they become, what's it called? Marvel property soon.
We say that, but then I'm just like they might be getting, Fantastic Four and all that back, and it's just like,
Oh, that was another one. Creed
What's
2.
that? Oh, was that good?
It looks good.
Nice.
Yeah, he's fighting the son of Drago.
Yeah.
Apparently there was a Holmes and Watson trailer. It's Will Ferrell and John C. Reilly as Holmes and Watson.
Like Sherlock Holmes?
Uh-huh.
Is that going to be a comedy?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, okay. Who is it? Will Ferrell and John C. Reilly?
Yeah. Step Brothers again?
So basically just Step Brothers, but
Old.
fancy
Yeah.
and British.
Yeah.
That seems interesting.
I'd go see it.
Dude, they could do some funny stuff with, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like Sherlock Holmes and like that relationship, but and then mysteries and stuff like that. They could do some funny stuff there. All right, I got some interesting ones for you.
Okay.
One that you probably don't care about, but Kathleen Kennedy, the Lucasfilm president.
Yeah.
They make Star Wars. She extended her contract for another 3 years, which for some people is probably like the worst thing that ever happened.
Yeah.
And then for other people, it's like, okay. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because she's basically like the Kevin Feige of the Star Wars universe. You know?
Mm-hmm.
So all the poor decisions that have happened and all the good decisions that have happened have run through her.
Gotcha.
You know? So.
Seems like more bad than good.
Yeah, I'm not extremely thrilled, but hopefully it has more to do with the directors and stuff like that than it does her. But
True.
We shall see. We know what a bad person at the head can cause,
Mm-hmm.
like in the DC universe, for example.
Oh, yeah.
If you stick people that don't really care at the head, all they care about is money. Whereas Kevin Feige doesn't give a crap about money. He just wants to make.
Even though
good
he
movies.
makes the most.
What do you mean?
From movies.
Yeah, absolutely. Yep.
All those just bringing a crap ton.
This one really blew my mind, and I don't know if it's entirely true, but I think it is. It says Fox will re-release Deadpool 2. Have you heard about that? Apparently they're re-releasing Deadpool 2 this Christmas, and it's going to be PG-13.
Why? That doesn't make a whole lot of sense.
It really doesn't. I don't know. Don't know if that was a joke, but I saw it on a pretty reputable website, and it says it'll have a story structure kind of like The Princess Bride. That's about the most insane movie news I've heard in a few years.
What?
Except for when I told you they were making a Play-Doh movie a few years ago.
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
That really came to fruition.
I mean, did they... like I'm sure the actors have to be like, yeah, I'm not doing that.
Mm.
Or do they have any say and stuff like that?
I don't think. I think they're just gonna recut the movie. I would say. I have no idea.
There's gonna be a whole lot they're gonna cut out then.
If they actually do that, that would be kind of ridiculous.
Yeah.
And I'd be a little worried about the quality of that movie.
Yeah, there's a lot in there that not necessarily needs the violence, but
the jokes
enhances it. The jokes for sure.
And that whole scene where everyone's getting killed, all the X-Force people.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
There's you can cut that entire thing out because they all die horrifically.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I don't know. Doesn't seem like a good idea to me.
Yeah.
How much do you care about spoiling Spider-Man?
Far From Home?
Yeah, Far From Home.
Close From Home. I don't know. The trailer probably do it again.
Would you rather not hear anything about it?
I don't care.
Because I'll spare you the details if you want.
No.
Okay, well, spoilers for that probably.
Okay.
There's gonna be a black spider suit in it.
Okay.
So and it looks. This could be just because it's like a footage from the set. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But it looks like he made it.
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean? Kind of like his suit in the first one. Before, what's his face gives him his nice suit. Yeah. So.
Okay.
Maybe. I don't know what that's all about. I don't know what that movie's gonna be about. But apparently there's a black spider suit.
Where is it? Is it set in London or England?
I don't know. Is that Far From Home? Is that why it said that?
I thought it would be.
Gotcha. I think it says it's more like for stealth versus the Spider-Man 3 black Spider-Man suit, which is
gotcha.
bad now.
Where it's like it's all black and not like the white lines or
yeah,
silver
no.
lines.
It's just like it looks like a black homemade suit with a spider mask on. You know what I mean?
Right.
Kind of reminds me of remember the first season of Daredevil?
Yeah.
When he has the black suit on? Kind of reminds me of that. Then I have Joker trailer, which we already covered. He's being a goof.
Yeah.
Stop. I'm about to kick you out, you loser. It's my cat.
I was about to say, that was mean, talking to me like that. People at home just like, is he going to kick out the co-host?
No, I would never. What, you got your list?
Yeah.
Doing an interesting list this week.
Yeah. We're you were giving me the cue to announce that.
What's your list? It's being such a goon, man.
Our list is.
He'll stop in a second. Stop.
Skirt.
Thank you.
That's the cat's name, by the way. Skirt. It's top 10 willable objects. Willedable.
Basically, weapons or defensive. Basically anything.
Yeah,
right?
Anything a movie character can use as weapon, protection,
so
anything like that.
Mjolnir, Cap Shield, stuff like that.
Yeah, etc. Doesn't have to be superhero, but
good, because a good portion of mine is not. What's your number 10?
Number 10, Mjolnir.
All right. I left Mjolnir off for a reason.
Okay.
You'll see in a minute.
I think I know why, but okay.
Why do you like Mjolnir?
Well, I wasn't the biggest fan of Thor, like in the movies, until Ragnarok.
Yep.
And when he was using it in that, and then Age of Ultron, the way he was using like as a bat, and then how he would act with Cap Shield.
Yep.
When they would take out all those drones and stuff.
Yeah, he would just throw his thing and it would hit Cap Shield. Yeah, for that
lightning.
Little scene before it gets destroyed in Ragnarok,
yep.
It's like that's the best version
of
him, because he's just like, well, we watched Thor, right?
Yeah.
And it's kind of painful how bad he is with it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, he's fighting frost giants and he's just hitting them. It's like, you do know you can do some crazy stuff with that hammer, right?
And like in the opening scene of Ragnarok, when he's fighting like that dragon, he says, "Stay."
Exactly.
And drops it in his mouth.
He does do that in Thor, to be fair. He's like, "Loki, stay."
That's
He
right.
just puts it on his chest.
Yeah.
But it's a lot more interesting and fun in Ragnarok. So, Yep. I
So-
think that's just a symptom of learning. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like they just learned how to. You know, it was their first time ever using a weapon like that in a movie. You
Yeah.
know. So
Your number 10?
my number 10 is Heimdall's sword.
Interesting.
I think it's a good weapon.
You
Because,
don't know the name of it?
Crap. Does it have a name?
Yeah, it does.
Is
Let's
it-
go to my number 9. Hofund, Heimdall sword.
Wow. It's called Hofund?
Yeah, Hofund.
I feel.
If that's
feel
how you pronounce it.
I feel like I
that's
should have done some more research. Feels bad.
That's funny though.
But yeah, I like that a lot because one, it's super duper powerful because it can open the Bifrost, right?
Yeah.
And then two, you get to see it a lot in Thor Ragnarok.
Mm-hmm.
It's gonna be a common thread. And he's really good with it.
Yeah.
You know, and it's humongous. It's like
Oh,
only
yeah.
Heimdall would be able to use that
Yeah,
thing.
exactly.
It's massive. I mean, he even has a hard time picking it up in Thor.
Swinging it. And,
Thor
yeah.
1. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
When he gets frozen in ice, he's like, "Oh my god, this thing is so heavy." He's trying to pick it up and put it in.
Yeah.
So, that's a good one.
All right, your number 9.
My number 9 is Iron Man suit,
Okay.
because technically it's a weapon or a
Yeah,
wieldable
yeah.
thing, right? Good, because it's gonna get weirder than that. So,
What is?
some of my weapons,
Oh, okay.
wieldable, whatever.
Gotcha. Any certain one or just the basic like Mark
I
1
like the
or all of them?
Is it Extremis? Yeah.
Yeah.
The Extremis suit, which is kind of what he has in Avengers Age of Ultron. Or,
Uh-huh.
no, Avengers Infinity War. Because it's nanoparticles, so it's on him constantly,
Yeah.
and it can regrow itself.
Yeah.
It kind of seems like cheating, but they did a good job with it in Infinity War, because even though it feels like it's impossible to defeat because it just regrows, it's like when you come up against someone like Thanos, it's like it ain't growing fast enough. You know? Like during that whole fight, he's trying to regrow like parts of his armor.
Yeah,
You know what
yeah.
I mean? And eventually Thanos just beats it to a pulp and then stabs him, you know?
Yeah.
So I like that a lot. It's really interesting that it's, you know, stored inside of him. And in the comics, it's really cool because him and Mr. Fantastic, Reed Richards, actually design it. So
Yeah.
yeah, that's cool.
That's cool. Number 8, Stormbreaker.
Ah,
Yeah. I
damn
knew
it!
you're talking about that one.
Stormbreaker's sick.
Yeah. It can defeat Thanos. He uses it like a boss in Infinity War, and it's part Groot. So what more could you want?
Those are all the things I was gonna say. He also slings that thing around like just the way he just tosses it around.
Yeah.
You could tell he's been using Mjolnir for a while because he's
Mhm.
like, "Whoa, this thing's bigger," and he just like just throws.
But
it
yeah,
and
he
just-
threw it at one of Thanos' ship and just exploded the ship with it.
exactly, and it just comes right back.
Yep. Sick.
Yeah, and that thing is huge.
Oh, it is.
It's so much bigger. Also, it can wield the Bifrost.
That's right.
You know what I mean?
Oh, that's
So,
yeah.
which is pretty sick.
Your number 8, sir.
The Infinity Gauntlet.
Oh,
I put it low because it just kind of feels like cheating, but
Okay.
it's still an amazing wieldable object. you
Yeah.
know? It's like I think they did a good job of balancing it in Infinity War. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? He didn't get all the stones and then just like. I mean, he could do anything. He
Mhm.
could literally just delete everyone that's around him if he wanted to, or just turn them all to bubbles, or you know, he could do anything. But instead, he kind of, you know,
Mhm.
is still trying to figure out how to use it really.
Gotcha.
But in the comics, man, he's just like he can do anything. And
Yeah.
It's just kind of like feels like cheating, but it's still sick. It looks cool.
Oh, it does.
It wields the 6 most powerful things in the entire universe. That's a pretty big deal,
Mm-hmm.
you know. So, what's your number
7.
7?
I have the yellow power ring.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Why the yellow
Fear.
one? Fear.
Fear is the best motivator, besides
Facts.
money.
This is true.
And the green one doesn't stand for money, so
What does the green one stand for?
willpower.
Yep.
Isn't it?
Yep.
I don't know. And I know Sinestro is pretty cool.
Yeah, he is.
So too bad we didn't get to see more of that.
Is that a Yeah, I know, right? They set that up, and you were all like,
That was the
"Hey, that would have been
Best
exciting."
part by far.
But then you're like, maybe don't though, because you ruined this one. So
Yeah.
maybe don't.
Especially
make that
now.
one.
We're like, yeah, no.
Don't. Maybe
no,
now. If they made it now in the DC, I'd be all right with that.
True.
They could probably pull it off. They just put someone good behind it.
Yeah. Well, the guy that had was really good.
What was that?
The guy that was Sinestro in the original Green Lantern was really good.
Yeah, he fit that character perfectly.
Yeah. I can't remember his name, but he was in Kingsman.
Kingsman?
Yeah.
Gotcha. That's a good one.
7 for ye.
This is an interesting one.
Oh boy.
It's the Force. Why do you laugh?
Yeah, sure.
That's
hilarious.
Didn't see that one coming.
I didn't even think about that.
You didn't even think about it?
Because I did a lot of like research for this list.
Yeah.
I was looking up all the different stuff.
Yeah.
That wasn't on any of them. I didn't even think about it.
That's why I thought it was kind of interesting. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The Force is insanely powerful. Now, you're probably just thinking like moving objects and stuff, but you got Force Lightning, you got Force Choke.
Okay, so you're including all of it.
Oh, yeah. You can, I mean, people like Nihilus can suck the life out of you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And like, there's some crazy stuff you can do with the Force. I'll talk about it later, but it's, and I would say it's kind of, I don't know if it's wieldable per se, but still like a weapon or a defense mechanism.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So, I like
That's a
it.
good one. All right. Number 6, I have the Eye of Agamotto.
Nice.
Yeah.
It's a pretty powerful one.
It's pretty cool, too. You can reverse time, so.
You gotta do these little hand symbols, though.
Balloon animal. Yeah.
It's one of those where it's like, it's so freaking powerful, it kind of feels like cheating again.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like, the movie Doctor Strange kind of, I think, loses a little bit, because he's just like, we'll just reverse time, you know?
Yeah.
I like how they, once again, I like how they treat it in Infinity War.
Yeah.
Because even though he has it, you know what I mean? He's like going through all the different possibilities, and he's like, yeah, this ain't gonna help. Even though we have this powerful object, we got one option. So.
It's a good one. Your 6?
Cap Shield.
Okay.
The circle one.
Not the
Not the
Panther.
Yeah.
I don't know what you call those.
Well, just the Wakanda shields, you know.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
Or the Nomad shields.
Right.
Whatever you want to say.
Yeah.
But if he's Nomad. But I like that one because I don't particularly like the Wakanda ones, because they don't feel like they'd actually protect him at all. Like, he uses the big round shield to stop some pretty insane stuff.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, deflects Thor's thing with...
Well, he stops it in the first Avengers.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yep.
He uses it as a... kind of like a bounce pad.
Mm-hmm.
Like in Winter Soldier, he jumps out the elevator shaft and just lands on it.
Yep. And he can he pushes people up. Remember that?
Mm-hmm.
What movie is that? It's Civil War.
Yeah.
When the very first fight, he just launches somebody.
Yeah.
Forget who it is, but he just launches.
It can ricochet, it breaks physics,
and it bounces around and comes right back to him. It's
Yep.
pretty sick. Plus, it's so iconic.
Yeah.
It's probably the most iconic wieldable thing I can think of besides maybe Batman stuff. So
yeah, probably.
because Batman's a bigger character, and Superman doesn't wield anything, so he's just not even on the list.
Mm-hmm.
I like it a lot.
All right. That was your 6, right? So number 5 now for me is Batman's utility belt.
Just his utility belt, huh?
Yeah. Because that includes a whole lot of stuff.
That's true.
Like shark repellent.
I was just went to the worst example. Wow.
All the batarangs, the smoke grenades.
What's your favorite
grapple
version of the utility belt?
I'm trying to think.
Would it be like
Probably cartoon.
Really?
Yeah, because there's the one where I can't remember, but it was basically the Batman vs Superman cartoon where it's old Bruce Wayne. He's got all the kryptonite stuff on it. Where he can just beats the shit out of Superman with it.
Yep.
Probably that one.
It's a good one. I forget what that's.
I can't remember either. Dark Knight, maybe.
I think it is The Dark Knight Returns. The Dark Knight Returns.
I think so.
I think that's what it is. But
Yeah.
regardless, yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah.
And it actually kind of demeans one of my later ones because he just kind of took it and included it with a whole bunch of other stuff too. So maybe I should have thought about that harder. What was that? That was your number 5?
Yes. 5.
Okay, mine is another interesting one. It's the Black Panther suit / plant.
Okay.
Because I know the plant's not a wieldable object, but the suit is, you know?
Yeah.
But the suit's not really that big a deal until he has the plant, you know, the stuff that gives him his powers. Because those two combined, he's an unstoppable force. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The only thing that can kill him is a snap. So.
Yeah, it's a little... That's the only problem with it, though. Like, there's no consequences.
I see what you're saying. Yeah, even in, like, Black Panther, you know, it's like you don't really feel like he's going to die at any point.
Until he got that thing taken off. Or, like, until... When they were down in the train system and the magnets deactivated or whatever.
Yeah. So you basically need something to deactivate it.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
And in Infinity War, when he was getting surrounded by the aliens or whatever.
True.
They just all poof.
Yeah.
He just activated that or whatever.
Yep. So. But if I could have it, that'd be sick.
Oh, that'd be sick.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Be nice. It also looks cool.
Yeah, it does.
It looks really, really cool.
Yeah.
What's your number 4?
All right. The only Star Wars mention on here.
Proud of you.
Darth Maul's lightsaber.
Oh, specific.
Yeah.
Ah.
Yeah, what's specific.
Specific.
Not Pacific.
Pacific. No, yeah, that's...
That was probably my favorite.
I'm trying to think. There's a lot out there, so I could probably pick a better one, but that, in my opinion, but that one's really high up there for really good lightsabers.
Yeah.
He's one of the only ones that uses a set dual wield too. Like you can't, like a lot of them in the universe, you can break them.
Yeah.
And put them back together, and his is just like nope. Sometimes he does use one. Yeah. Which, if you've ever seen the hilt of that lightsaber, would be
huge.
Oh, it's massive, dude. Like I could 3D print it, and it would be humongous to give you a real life visual. Yeah. But yeah, and he uses it to like perfection. Yeah. You know what I mean?
And I remember as a kid, that was like the coolest thing ever. Like I always wanted one. Oh yeah. But they were always like super expensive, or they didn't make them. So. Yeah, and you know, you're as a kid, you're so used to the, you know, just the standard like sword wielding, and then all of a sudden he's like got it like this, and you're like, what's going on? And then he lights the other one, and you're like, oh yeah. Yep. And it really helps him in that fight too, because he's just like blocking both of them at the same time. Yeah, it's good stuff. That was your number 4? Yes. Mine's the white lantern ring. Oh, yeah, nice. What's white? Huh? What's white? Do you not know what white is? Probably, but I can't remember. It's so in the comic books, it's the combination of all of them. Oh, yep. And then what's his face? I forget the guy that wields it, but he basically realizes it's way too much power and splits it into the 6 other rings. One, yeah, something. Right. But basically, when you wield the white power ring, you know the equation to life. The life equation. Nice. So you can basically create life, and it's insanely powerful. Mm-hmm. And it, like I said, it wields everything else too. So on top of understanding the whole universe, you also can do all the other things that all the other power rings can do. Yeah. It's 7. That's a rainbow, right? Yeah. If it's white. The only downfall is it's too powerful, because whoever gets it just loses their mind. You know what I mean? Kind of like the Infinity Gauntlet. It's like, whoa, that's a lot of responsibility, you know? Yeah. So, yeah. I just thought that was smart, too, because, you know, they have all these other power rings, and they're like, why don't we just do white, which is technically all the colors in the visual spectrum, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So, what's your number 3? 3. Cap Shield, the original one. We already talked about it, but... The circle? Yeah, the circle. Going back to that, I think one of the best scenes of all time with that shield
is right when he gets it. They're testing out different shields, and he picks this one up, and he's like, "What's so special about this one?" It's like, "Well, it's vibranium, so it has like no like it. What's it do? It consumes all vibration, basically,
something like that."
And then all of a sudden, oh, and Cap just got caught kissing that girl.
Yeah.
And so Peggy picks up the gun and just shoots it like 10 times. That was a good scene.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
Yeah. Your number 3?
Oh, it's Stormbreaker.
Ah.
Dude, you got to know I'm going to put something that is part Groot on
Yeah.
the list.
Yeah.
And it was just... They went to quite the lengths to make that happen. I mean, Thor literally accepted...
Almost died?
Yeah. What was he thinking, by the way? Well, like, if he's the only one powerful enough to wield it...
Why risk yourself to make it?
I guess he just... It was like, that was his only goal. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Which, to be fair, is like, yeah. That's... I mean, you got to do something. You know what I mean? Because they're getting their ass beat on Earth, so... Got to hurry up and do something.
Not like it made a difference, though.
Almost did. It almost made a difference. Should have gone for the head.
Yeah.
Or just chopped the arm off.
Yeah.
Eh.
I don't think he was too flustered, I'd say.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's also Thanos, so he's just kind of throwing it at him. He's a giant purple blob, so you just kind of try to hit him.
Oh, and also we didn't mention about it. It could stop the powers of the Infinity Gauntlet.
Really?
Yeah, because Thanos shot a beam up at it, and the Stormbreaker was just fucking it up.
You're right. Because it just, yeah. I mean, he does say it's a god killer, right?
Mm-hmm.
He's like...
Thanos killing kind.
The Thanos killing kind.
Yeah.
You're right. I was like, sitting there like, why did Thanos not just stop it? And he's like, oh, he tried to.
He tried.
He tried.
That thing's that powerful.
Yeah. Just ate right through it.
Yeah, it's pretty sick. He just grabbed it and just kept pushing it in.
Yeah. That's one of those where like...
Told you you'd pay for this.
Exactly. That's one of those like, Peter Quill things, like where he decides to shoot him instead.
Yeah.
It's like, maybe he should have just killed him instead of making him suffer, you know?
Yeah.
But I can totally understand why you'd want to.
Yeah.
If you just saw your brother die.
True.
And a whole bunch of other people die, of Asgard. So
basically all.
I think he said 1/2, right? Because he just goes and murders 1/2 of all.
Yeah. Well, what happened to him?
Like Valkyrie's still alive.
Yeah.
For some reason, the Russos came out and said that she was.
But I don't think Korg is.
Don't tell me that.
I mean, he's alive. He'll never die.
What's number 2? Meek.
As long as he doesn't go near water. All right.
Oh, Meek. Oh, yeah, Meek died. Oh, Meek, you're back.
He's alive, everyone. All right. Was that your number 3?
Yeah, so you're number 2.
Number 2. I have the Infinity Gauntlet.
Yeah.
Yep. It's too good. Too overpowered.
It's so good.
Mm-hmm. And it's cool. I mean, we haven't seen it in movies, but like all the other people that have wielded it or that can.
Oh, yeah.
So.
And it's just like, I mean, what's funny is like other people can wield it, but Thanos' hand is so much bigger than everyone else's.
Well, it was made for his hand.
Yeah. So what do you get a new one, or does it shrink down to your size, or what?
I don't know. Because
it is the Infinity Gauntlet, so it could just,
True, you can just, bend reality.
Exactly, you just stick your hand in it and then go, yeah, do that, and then it just makes it your size.
Yeah.
Do you think Cap could wield it?
Oh yeah, I don't think anyone can they?
No, I think certain people can't wield it. Because you remember when he gets all 6 of them, and it affects him for a minute?
That's
it's
right.
Takes over all his veins and everything like that. I'm sure that would kill
and at the
mortal human
beginning, when he got the space one, Ebony Maw said to Thanos that no being in the universe has ever wielded 2 and lived or something like that.
Well, yeah, and it's also, I would say it's exactly the same as like someone trying to hold the Power Stone.
Yeah.
In Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like certain people can't do it.
Or not single.
Yeah, single-handedly. That's a testament to how badass Thanos is.
Mm-hmm.
He can
Would
just
would
accept
you-
all 6.
Like, what do you think the Infinity Gauntlet's done for, or
It got pretty blown up, dude.
the gems are still good though?
Absolutely, you can't
Yeah.
destroy him.
But I think the Gauntlet's done for. The glove itself, because that thing looked pretty roasted.
It sure did.
Like almost where I bet that like a reaction like that would just have like melted it in place or something.
I get what you're saying.
Like if you put your hand in there, you couldn't do anything.
I don't know.
I'm curious how they come back into play.
I wonder if are they even gonna do anything with the stones in the second? You know.
They might not.
But Thanos kind of becomes just a dude at that point. And the Avengers are really good at beating just dudes. You know? So, I think... I don't know. That's a good question. That's a tough one.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want to be in Marvel's writer's room. You know what I mean?
Right.
It'd be a tough
There's a lot of
tough way to figure out that whole thing.
Yeah. I just can't wait till.
They clearly know what they're doing, though, because they set it up.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, they wouldn't lead it down this road and then be like, now what? You know?
Yeah.
So...
Yeah, I can't wait till our Infinity War episode.
Yeah.
Where we can just go over like all ideas potentially, like
Yeah.
what we think's gonna happen. That's gonna be a good episode.
One. It's gonna be fun. All right,
Your
my number
number
2
two?
is a batarang.
Ah,
I think I said earlier that like you got me with the, or you, you demean this one, but I think actually thinking about it, I like this one because of the symbolism.
Yeah,
you know
yeah.
what I mean. It has been persistent through every single Batman comic, every iteration of Batman. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like Captain America, you think his shield would be like that, but his shield's really not. It doesn't stick with him. I mean, he turns into what's it called? Help me out. When he gets rid of Captain America, like the Captain America title. I said it earlier.
Nomad?
Nomad. When he turns into Nomad, he gets rid of the shield. You know what I mean? And it's like, but Batman never, ever, ever doesn't have a batarang.
exactly.
Even in the shitty movies, he's got a batarang. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Even before they could really make him realistic and good, he had a batarang. You know, it pops up in other movies, like Shazam, for example.
right.
You know,
He has one.
exactly. It's like, yeah, and he pins notes and stuff with it. You know, it's like
Brands, bad guys.
don't even get me started.
Speaking of, what, do you have a certain one that's your favorite?
Do I? My batarang?
Yeah, like a favorite battering.
I think I like the 2.
Got me.
I like the 2 latest realistic movie ones. So that would be the Nolan one.
Oh,
Looks
okay.
really good. And I think it's the most realistic because I think it would actually like fly through the air because it's thin and everything. And then the current one right now, which I've 3D printed, looks sick.
Oh yeah.
And I like the shape of it.
Nice.
Plus the like aesthetics. Like what's his face? The Nolan one's kind of gold to fit, like the comic thing, but this one they just kind of went, we're just going to make it black with like metal edges and it looks nice.
This.
It's your number 1.
All right. Any idea?
Huh. Is it okay, is it DC or Marvel?
DC.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Shit.
What were you gonna say? You haven't mentioned it either, so
Really?
yeah, it's not on yours.
Man, that's tough.
All right.
Go for it.
The Trident of Neptune.
Okay.
Yeah.
I should have known.
Yeah.
I'm an idiot.
I love Aquaman.
I was about to say, if you didn't know, Aquaman's probably your favorite.
Mm.
If not your second.
Batman's kind of like duh number 1.
Yeah.
But if it's not Batman, it's probably him.
Anyway, yeah.
I mean, it you can control water with it.
Yeah, tell me about it, because I actually don't know what it can do.
Yeah, I don't know much either. But the main factor that I like it so much is because it can pierce Superman.
True.
Which is, I don't like Superman, so it's like a big middle finger to
Pretty
Superman.
sure Aquaman 2 is stronger, like physically wise, than Superman, because he's what's it called? Because he's constantly underwater.
Yeah.
So his skin is so much stronger because it's like the pressure has to withstand it.
Yeah.
Him and Superman are like pretty evenly matched, which is hard to do. You know, Superman they've given him so many ridiculous powers that, it's a sick looking weapon too. You know. Plus, if you're an underwater god, you'd probably have a trident.
Oh yeah.
You know.
I'm gonna look it up, see what it says, like powers.
I love how he just can toss that thing around too.
Hey, that picture look familiar?
Yeah, it sure does.
Yeah.
Tell me what it can do.
I'm getting there.
Take your time. No rush.
Power to command the sea, making tidal waves or whirlpools, or even making columns of water to stand on.
Nice.
Controlling the weather.
What?
Yep. Lightning, and can turn living creatures into something else.
What? What is that last one?
So, I don't know. You know, like Loki, he turned himself into a snake and bit me. I was like, oh, I love snakes. And then he stabbed me. No, that's what he said. He turned back and stabbed me.
And then he stabbed me. He's like, you have a shit brother, dude. No,
So,
that's
probably stuff like that.
So basically, he has the powers of storm, right? He has the powers of storm.
Oh, from X-Men?
Yeah.
Okay.
The powers of, like, controlling the ocean.
Yeah.
And he has, like, a wand from Harry Potter, basically. He could just transform people into rats and stuff.
Yeah.
That's insane.
Yeah.
Okay. That's
and
a good
it
one.
can pierce Superman. So.
Yeah. Yep. Which means they could probably pierce just about anything. Man, he's being a damn rascal
I know,
today.
man. He's just swiping at me.
Jeez. Don't. You're gonna
I
prompt
didn't do
him.
anything.
All
I
right,
just
man.
gave you a very unfortunate name you have to go by.
So my number one
Yes.
is probably the most iconic weapon of all time. You've already alluded to it.
Okay.
It's a lightsaber.
Okay.
Without
Just
a
in
doubt.
general?
Yeah, just lightsabers in general, because there's so many different variants and types and everything like that. I mean, Ezra Bridger has one of the coolest. It's a lightsaber and a gun in one.
What?
Yeah, his hilt is also a pistol.
Oh, okay.
So, and you got like the Inquisitors that have spinning lightsabers, and they can actually use them to fly, which is glide, not
Okay.
fly. Let's not give them too much credit. And then
Well, you can basically force jump, can't you?
do what?
Can't you like force jump?
Yeah, but the Inquisitors aren't force sensitive. I don't think.
Oh, okay.
I don't know. I don't watch that much of that. But and it's like the lightsaber is like, I don't know how to explain it. It's like Jedi and Sith use it in conjunction with their force powers. You know what I mean?
You saw that, right?
Yeah.
Just
He's been a little rascal. 1 second. Come here. You good? Come here.
How much do you weigh now? Like 30 pounds?
7,000 pounds, probably.
Yeah.
Being on thought.
That little rascal.
Back to what we were saying.
I like how-
lightsaber.
I like how we're in that stage already. We're just like, nah, professionalism's out the window.
Yeah, professionalism is gone. Probably won't even edit that one out. I could.
Too much work.
So, yeah, it's just like, I don't know. It's just like, there's so many iconic ones, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, shoot, it's iconic and important because remember when the new Star Wars came out and what's his faces had a different hilt than all the rest? Kylo Ren.
Mm-hmm.
And everybody lost their gosh darn mind.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So
What do you know the purpose?
the purpose.
Why it went to the sides?
So it blocks. What's it
Like-
called? It blocks. Yeah. Coming down.
It's like an old school sword. Like,
Exactly.
Yeah.
I think it was more because in the Star Wars universe you kind of make your own lightsaber. It's kind of a thing.
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean? That's why Jedi Luke has a different colored lightsaber than he does before he's a Jedi. Do you know what I'm saying? It's because he in the comics and everything like that, he goes on a journey to find his crystal and all that.
Right.
You know, and what's his face does it too? Darth Vader.
Right.
He takes his lightsaber and he you can use the Force to make it red. You know what I mean? Stuff like that. So, yeah.
So do you have a favorite one though?
Gosh.
You knew I was gonna ask that.
Man, that's a tough one. I like Obi-Wan Kenobi's what's it called? Episode 3.
Okay.
Lightsaber, because it's the one that defeats Anakin Skywalker, and it looks the nicest. But if you go outside of like normal Star Wars movies where people really don't know what I'm talking about, probably unless you're a hardcore Star Wars fan, there are some really, really sick ones out there. Darth Revan's got some really nice lightsabers. He uses 2, but separate, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he's interesting because he's the closest person to strike a balance between the dark and the light. So one of his is red and one of his is like blue or green. I can't remember. And then you got the people with different colors. Like Mace Windu uses purple because he's kind of a little bit in between. You know what I mean? Mace Windu is not exactly all light. Let's put it that way. Yeah. And purple's kind of frowned upon in the Jedi community. That's why there's one dude that uses a purple one. And yeah, it's a really interesting weapon. It's been there for a while.
Mm-hmm.
It's got a lot of history to it. Fake history, but history nonetheless.
Come to think about it, I never thought about this before. If the thing about it, like a weapon, you're trying to take the other person out of the fight, or like if you're trying to kill them, you know what I mean? I feel like a lightsaber, depending on how you hit them, isn't the best.
It's really not, because it cauterizes.
It cauterizes, exactly. Like, wait a minute, if you're trying to kill someone.
Yeah, no. Well, it's also very quick for killing things as
True.
well. You can just chop someone's head off and it's done.
Yeah.
Over. Or just, like someone I'll reference later, just absolutely just shoulder to hip, done.
Yeah.
Like, if you're strong enough and you're powerful enough, you can overwill someone else with a lightsaber and just push right through them. Like, it doesn't even matter,
Yeah.
So, yep. All right.
Yeah. Good list.
That's a fun one.
Mm-hmm.
All right, man.
I wonder how many times we're going to do a list and be like, oh, this one's not going to be on his list, but
It always is. We're very different and the same sometimes. You know what I mean? Like, mine has a lot of Star Wars stuff on it. Yours had one very specific.
But we
Star
both
Wars.
had Hofund, Stormbreaker.
True.
We had Cap
True.
Shield, the Gauntlet.
If we do something this specific, it'll probably be the same.
Yeah.
Yeah. You ready to do main topic?
Yep.
Did you watch Iron Man and Thor?
I didn't watch the movies, but I did research.
Okay, that's fine. I watched both of them, so if you're
Sucker.
looking for if you're looking for a plot hole or a hole or something like that, you can't remember what happened.
Wait, hold on. Which ones did you watch?
Iron Man and Thor.
Are you you're supposed to watch Iron Man 2.
Why Iron Man 2?
Because that's the next one, chronological.
Well, we said I didn't want to do 2 Iron Mans in a row.
Oh well. That's fine. I'm
We'll
good
do,
on it.
We'll do Iron Man 2 next week.
That's
But
fine.
Iron Man's hard to forget. You've probably seen it like 6 or 7 times, right? And then Thor's pretty easy to forget. No offense. All right, let's start with Thor.
I'm not offending anyone here.
Start with Thor because it's probably the worst
Okay.
of the 2. And Iron Man has a little more importance to it.
Mm-hmm.
So what's the story of Thor?
Ah, fuck you. So, cocky son of Odin, Thor,
Yeah.
is fighting wars, starting wars he wasn't supposed to, or fights or battles, whatever.
Pretty much.
And he gets punished by his father Odin.
Yep.
And he's stripped of his powers. Him and his hammer are sent to Earth.
Mm-hmm.
Where he's on a vision quest,
Basically.
trying to figure out who he is, learn lessons.
Yep. I think this movie, it's kind of rough because I don't know. It just lacks like interesting visuals.
Yeah, because they're in Asgard, this beautiful place, and they just go to like what, Nevada,
New Mexico,
New Mexico,
middle of nowhere, New Mexico.
Yeah. It doesn't even look like a real town. It looks like they built it.
I have a problem with that. The town looks so freaking fake.
Yeah,
it looks like. I mean, it is. It's a movie town. You know what I
Uh-huh.
mean? It's like they built it for the movie. And then the other thing about the town that's so incredibly strange is it's a normal middle America town, and then there's a weird science building at the cap end of the street, you know, and no one's like, what the hell is this weird woman that, you know?
Yeah.
And I'll shit on it first and then talk about the good things, but the biggest problem, what do you think my biggest problem is with this movie?
Dyed eyebrows.
What'd you say?
His dyed eyebrows.
Those are pretty bad. But no, it's a character, so which...
All right. Probably Thor.
No. I think Thor's fine because he starts out a total douche, right?
Yeah.
Which is kind of how you would be if you were a god, you know, you would be, and then he learns humility, you know what I mean?
Right.
No, it's Jane. Her character is so weird.
Natalie Portman?
Her character, like, I think as a kid you don't really clue into it that much.
Yeah.
But as an adult you're like, this is weird. First off, she's gorgeous, and she's a scientist and a nerd, and you're like, movies.
Let's be real here.
Let's be real. Like Spider-Man last week. Like, what do you mean? You chose the oldest, ugliest dude, and then some like dashing man, and tried to make him a nerd, and you're just like, this doesn't make any sense. Again, Natalie Portman. She's gorgeous. She's beautiful. And then she's like flumbling around like, ooh, wormholes. Ooh, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Her character is really weird. And then it's like she fits the, what do you call it? There's a hot dude without a shirt on. Like, I'm going to love him forever. And it's like, you've met him for literally, this whole story takes place in like a day and a half. Yeah. And you guys are like kissing and want to be together for the rest of your life. Like, whatever, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I get like, I don't know. Just her Thor has a better arc than she does. She's just kind of like, okay, I guess I like this guy. It just makes no sense, but whatever. And then she's like a scientist at heart, right?
Yeah.
But then she learns about all of it, and she just doesn't even care. She's just like,
about all of
ooh,
it. Yeah.
ooh. She's like, ooh, cool. She should be like writing things down and like, you know what I mean? Like, oh, this breaks and she gets all her equipment back. She doesn't even care. She just wants to see Thor again. I'm like, is that really what her character is? Her character is completely blinded by some hot dude.
Yep.
That's my biggest problem with this movie.
That's a good point.
Yeah. Other than that, I think this movie's pretty good. There's a part in the third act where Loki is like becoming bad, you know what I mean? And he's like, he switches his like, so he invites the frost giants in to ruin Thor's day.
Yep.
And then helps them kill, like goes there with them reluctantly to kill frost giants.
Yeah.
And start a war. Then he freezes Heimdall and lets the frost giants back in for about 4 seconds, close to killing his dad or Odin. Right? And then murders the frost giants and then flips again when Thor gets back. You know what I mean? You would think Thor would get back and he would be mad at Loki for letting the frost giants in, and then they'd fight and then finally realize like, oh, I was just doing it to kill the main frost giant. But instead Loki stays like this kind of weird like, oh, I want to be king so bad. You know what I mean? It's like, I'm so confused. It's like he's not fighting for either side, realistically. So he just flip-flops the whole time. Yeah. And you don't know what
he does that all of every movie.
I guess, but like the other movies, it's kind of, you understand why he's doing it because he's just trying to survive. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So, yeah, he's going to side with Thanos for a second to try to get an upper hand on him. You know what I mean? But this movie, he's just like, huh? And there's no reason to flip. Yeah. You're like, just stick with one side, Loki. You'll figure it out, you know? I don't know. They fix it, though. You know? Mm-hmm. And at the end, he goes full bad. Yeah. Because the end cutscene is him and the doctor. He's controlling the doctor and stuff like that. Yeah. Yep. It's got a good Moby robot in it.
It does. It will make our list or our bracket next week.
It sure will. Mm-hmm. It's an interesting one because it can shift its parts, its body parts. Because there's a scene where, what's her name?
The other woman?
Yeah, the girl.
Yeah, I don't remember.
Shia?
She's from Two Broke Girls. I remember that.
You're right. She is. That girl. She stabs it in the back of the neck.
Yeah.
And he like turns his whole body around.
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty cool. Other than that, it's a pretty bland movie.
Kind of forgettable.
It's definitely forgettable. It's just simple, you know. It's just
Yeah.
It was getting started. It was
And it also introduced like out of this world elements
exactly. It was getting
that
things.
were essential for the universe.
Yeah, and it does a good job of setting up Avengers, because if you don't watch Thor, you're like,
Oh yeah.
who are these people? Where did this Tesseract come from? What does it do?
Exactly.
Well, I guess it explains what it does there, but you know, you kind of get more by seeing the Bifrost and knowing that there's different realms and that you can teleport between them.
Yeah.
You know? But yeah, it's pretty good.
Yeah. All right.
You got anything else you want to say about Thor?
Not much. I didn't watch that one. I watched the wrong one. Research the wrong one.
Oh, you didn't research Thor?
No, because I did Iron Man 1 and 2.
Sorry.
That's fine.
My fault.
It don't matter to me. We should rank it.
Yeah, let's do it.
Give it its stones.
Let's do it. So, let's see. So we got the Power Stone, which is the boner score. So on a 0 to 6, how hard do you get for this? Or
No,
is it a
it's-
1 or 2?
It's a yes or no
Got
for
it.
each.
It's a hard no for me.
Yeah, hard no.
Does not get me hard.
No.
Sounds so bad. All right. Space is cinematography.
Oh, negative.
Dude, Asgard looks so bad in this movie.
And
They like...
and the movie town.
Oh, don't even get me started there. But they like... There's a scene at the beginning where it first shows you Asgard. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And you're like... You know how they show it now in the movies? It's like a disc
Yeah.
in space that's converges all the realms. You know what I mean? And it's like water is like flowing off the edge of it and everything. Like in this movie, it's just a bunch of clouds, and then they zoom in through the clouds because they didn't want to show, they didn't have like an actual visual representation of it yet. So
no
hard
on
no there. Rewatchability, Time Stone.
Man.
Let's just say I watched it today, this
Okay.
morning. I have no desire to watch it in the next 3 years.
All right, we'll give it. Yeah, I didn't even.
No.
I don't look. I wouldn't have looked forward to it if I did end up watching it.
Yeah. The Soul Stone, overall impressions? I'd say it's better
Yeah.
than a 50.
Oh, definitely.
So if it's a 1 to 0 scale, it's much better than a 50%. So I'd
Mhm.
give it a 1 there.
Yeah.
Engagement? It's a good movie.
Yeah.
It's got good characters. It's got interesting fights.
Mhm.
It's got,
It's
it's
different.
got funny scenes.
Yeah.
Where he drinks the coffee and he's like,
Another.
and the beer scene with Stalin Skarsgård.
Mm-hmm.
And he's, he drinks him out like under the table.
Right.
Stuff like that. It's funny.
Yeah.
And reality is story.
For Thor, I'd say it's a decent story,
Yeah.
but everything else probably no.
Yeah, I think, and it is a Thor movie.
That's true.
So
That's what you
if
gotta
Thor's
base it off
story is the best,
of. I'll give it a yeah.
we'll give it so it's a 3 out of 6.
3 out of 6. Not. the
Not too
greatest.
good.
Do you want to try to, after we review each one, like however many Marvel movies there are, we just try to rank them?
Yeah,
Okay. I don't know how many Marvel movies there are. Do you?
there's 18.
Is there?
Pretty sure.
Let's see.
So let me pull up a thing here, and I'll put our ranking in there, and we'll just change it per week. So bang. So number 1 is Thor, currently number 1. Welcome to the top, baby. Thor is currently number 1 because we don't have another one. You're not getting any of this.
Sorry, I'm trying to count. What'd you say? So I'm trying to figure out because we're not going to include any of the Hulks.
Okay.
We can't count Infinity War because that's number 1 for us, according to our movie list.
Okay.
Episode 1.
Pretty sure it's 18.
You think?
Yeah.
It says 20 films.
So you take out Incredible Hulk, and Infinity War. That'd be 18.
All right, let's see. So there's Iron Man, Incredible Hulk, Iron Man 2, Thor, First Avenger, The Avengers.
Yep.
So that's phase 1. Then there's... Are you counting?
Go back. I'll count. I apologize.
Iron Man.
Got it.
Not doing the Hulk.
Okay.
Iron Man 2.
Okay.
Thor.
Okay.
Captain America. Avengers.
5.
Okay. Phase 2 is Iron Man 3. Thor the Dark World. Winter Soldier. Guardians. Age of Ultron. Ant-Man. Okay. How many is that?
That's 11.
All right. Civil War.
Okay.
Doctor Strange. Guardians of the Galaxy 2. Homecoming. Ragnarok. Black Panther. Infinity War. Ant-Man and the Wasp.
17.
Okay.
No. 18.
Oh, look at you. And then
18 minus Infinity War.
You're right.
So 19 total. 20 total. Minus. Yeah, I was right. 18.
Okay.
All right. So Thor's number 1 right now.
Oh, you're doing it like that?
Well, I just typing it in as we go. He will drop drastically
put
over
him
the
in,
next few weeks. What'd you say?
I was thinking just go ahead and throw him in the spot you think. Adjust later.
Oh, out of 18?
Yeah.
I would say he's probably...
It's like 13 maybe.
I was going to say 12, so 13 works for me. 13. Thor. Feels real bad, brother.
Yes.
All right. Ready?
Yes.
Iron Man 1.
Okay. This one was probably the best for a little bit.
Oh, for sure. I mean, the nostalgia on this movie
Mm-hmm.
gets me going. Because I can remember going to this movie as a kid, and I was like, oh, I need more of these. And little did I know we were going to get a lot more of these. But, man, I was like, this is the best movie I've seen in a long
It
time.
was like that for me too. It was probably one of my favorite movies for a long time.
Absolutely. I was like, it got me into, like comic book characters, period. I didn't even know, like,
Mm-hmm.
I used to read Spider-Man comics I used to have, but it was like, you know what I mean? And then Spider-Man came out, and I was kind of like, that's not as good as the thing I read. But this was like, whoa, there's some good characters out there. And it's funny, too, because Iron Man's not even that big of a Marvel character. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
As far as comics go, it's always been Spider-Man, Captain America, you know what I mean? Like the big guys, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And then all of a sudden they're like, we're going to use Iron Man. And nobody's even heard of him. And then all of a sudden he just probably became the number 1 superhero of all, you know what I mean? Just like right up there.
Oh, yeah.
In the Marvel universe, at least. Pretty crazy.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like perfectly tonally, the movie was, you know? Because it's like, if you want to make it accessible to a lot of people, you don't want to follow the Batman route, you know? Because Batman back then was nice and dark and was good for that, you know what I mean? It was realistic, gritty, dark, and all that.
Yeah.
But like,
because this came out the same year as The Dark Knight.
exactly. So they did a good job of tone shifting and being kind of not dark and not like super campy at the same time.
Yeah.
Just perfect middle ground.
Mm-hmm. And it wasn't like it wasn't a slap you in the face kind of superhero movie either. It was very realistic in a way.
Oh yeah, it was grounded. I would say. Like,
honestly, I could see Elon Musk doing that right now.
You could believe that character. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And that was because I was doing the research on it last night.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna tell you my research unless you ask, but
I'm asking.
Oh damn! I didn't want you to. I'm just kidding. No, I just I watched Cinema Wins and Cinema Sins on our
Got it. One. Okay, so the best.
Everything wrong and everything great. So
gotcha.
That's all I need.
Well, that's not a bad point.
And so, I was watching, I was like, come to think about it, even the CGI on this, like for the suits in general, they still hold up pretty well.
For sure.
Because there's parts in the new ones where I know it's a lot more advanced, the Iron Man suits. Yeah. Like you can tell they're CGI, but these ones look real.
They look pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
And there's actually some parts in the new ones that I'm like, that looks worse than the old stuff.
Exactly.
And that's because
like the nano trying to form on him and stuff.
That looks really good, but like the main thing I can remember is in Civil War, in the airport fight when he has the helmet off.
Yeah.
And his head is kind of just like,
Yeah.
it doesn't look natural inside of the suit because, you know what I mean? That's just a hard one to get right.
Yeah.
Because the suit, I mean, we've discussed this. Like, it makes no sense whatsoever. Like, his calves would have to be tiny to fit in that suit. Do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Even if it conformed to him perfectly, you know? It's like, you still couldn't fit a human in that.
Oh, yeah.
And it would be incredibly clanky and clunky, you know? So, it's just, but, you know, you gotta do your best to make it look halfway decent. And they do a good job.
Yeah.
And it's, like you said, it looks even good in 2008.
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty damn impressive.
In 2018? There we go. 10 years ago.
2008.
It looked good then.
Yeah.
And looks good now.
Oh, it looks really good now, but...
Yeah. One thing against the movie is probably one of the first examples of the bad guy is just another of the hero, just bigger.
Another version of the
gray.
bad guy.
And gray.
He's also not a very interesting villain because you're like, why is he being, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Why is he being weird, like bad?
Yeah.
He doesn't.
Well, that one thing I did like about him, which I don't see a lot in movie villains now, he's not like the most menacing. He's not frightening, but he's like, it's the way the things he does. Mm-hmm. Like he throws like backhanded compliments at you. There were scenes where he was just invading personal space.
Yeah.
Like he was like 5 inches from Pepper when he was talking to her. Like,
true.
That's
yeah,
real
I hate
creepy.
that. It's
like
one of my biggest pet peeves when people do that.
Mm-hmm.
And just like the way he like degrades Tony when he puts that thing on him.
That
like,
paralyzer thing?
Yeah.
Why didn't you use that again?
He
should have just used that again.
When?
Because he used it on the bad guy, and then that 10 Rings guy that kidnapped Tony, and he used it on Tony, but he just never used it again.
Yeah. I don't know. That's how movies work.
Yeah, true.
You just use them when you need them. Mm-hmm. And then when you don't want it because you need the plot to go a different direction, you take it out. MacGuffin. Right. I love the 10 Rings scene when he gets captured.
Yeah.
It's probably one of the best in film history. You know what I mean? Like him and that guy making that suit. And when that guy dies, that's so sad.
Yeah.
You know, he sacrifices himself to save Tony. So, which teaches him, you know, a lot, but obviously not enough. Because he's still an arrogant bastard.
Yeah.
At the end of the movie.
I mean, even in the story of it is good too. Like another cocky millionaire who, you know, I'm not going to say he hadn't worked for anything, but yeah, he's a genius.
Yeah.
And he's an arms dealer, and he realizes that his own stuff almost killed him because someone's dealing to the bad guys with his stuff. And
that becomes his character, you know, trait for the rest of the Marvel cinematic universe. Everything. Is him trying to make up for things that he's constantly trying to protect everyone when that's an unrealistic goal. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But he does his darndest to try to get it done.
Yeah.
Which is good.
Yeah, and especially because near the beginning, like still in the exposition part, after he first makes the suit, he goes to that town in Afghanistan, in that city.
Yep.
And that's actually where the other guy in the cave was from.
Yep.
So he's like, the reason that he was in there because of his town, and he was getting all those weapons from Stark Industries, and he was there. And then Tony told him, or he told Tony, and then some reporter gave him photos of like all the killing and stuff going down because of his weapons, and so that's why he goes there. Gives it more reason, just my weapons are here.
Exactly, more than just a place in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
Exactly. I love the scene where he's trying to decide what color to make it.
Yeah.
And he looks over his hot rod.
Yeah.
He's like, well, try gold and red.
Well, he also had because originally it was just going to do all gold. And there's actual reason behind it. He said something about it messes with the satellites. The yellow or something.
Just bounces off them.
Bounces off of them. So the little details like that just to, instead of.
I really like the all silver suit.
Yeah.
You know, he's got it in the like in his cave because that's his first suit, and then he paints the other one.
Is that
You
the
know what I
Mark II?
Yeah, the Mark II. That thing looks sick. Well, the Mark 1 is the Mark 1 the big one, or does that have a different?
The cave one.
Okay, and then the Mark II is the silver. The
And
Mark
3
III is the first Iron Man suit. I also love, so like we've gotten his like evolution of what do you call it, weapons.
Yeah.
On this, and Rhodey kind of has the old throwback weapons, like more militaristic bombs and missiles and stuff, but Tony has more like insane weapons. Like in Iron Man 2 or 3, he has those like little red missiles that just like just blow up wherever they go. And this one was cool because he has the you know, every single time he shoots something, it makes like a bless you. It makes like a cool noise, you know, and it takes a minute to work. Whereas nowadays
which is realistic.
Yeah, nowadays he has like the most insane, you know, that fight with Thanos. Mano a mano. He's got like jetpacks in the back, and he's just like a huge hand cannon that he
has like those 4 floating things come off and just shoot like it laser.
Exactly, man. He's just
crazy stuff.
He's got some crazy.
He's got way too much time on his hands.
Right. Well, that's what he's doing. He's constantly trying to prepare for whatever could come.
Yeah.
Doesn't do a good job, but I mean, who could have known?
Yeah.
So, yeah, this is a really good movie. I like Pepper Potts in it. She's
real good.
Really good. And what's it called? What else? The fight at the end is pretty interesting, right? I would say like it's an interesting fight, but it is just an Iron Man fighting an Iron Man. But
yeah.
I like how huge the guy made it. He's like, hey, let's just make it massive.
Right. And one of the things he did to take advantage was he started flying into the atmosphere. Because when he first tested out the Mark II, I think, he was like, he needs to go up. And he says, sometimes you need to run before you can walk.
Yep.
So it's cool to see actual stuff pay off later.
Exactly.
Because he's like, I really doubt Obadiah thought of this when he was making his. Yeah.
Exactly. He just made an iron suit.
And also, there's no way Obadiah's suit should have caught up with him flying.
Yeah, I think it would have leveled out, you know, because Tony needs less propulsion. Obadiah's needs a massive, you know.
Sure.
Yeah. It's smart though. He took him up there.
Yeah.
Bad Rhodey.
Yeah, well, he didn't last long.
Yeah, I'm glad they got rid of him.
Yeah, I like Cheadle.
Don Cheadle's much better.
Yeah. There is a moment in there for sure in the final battle scene where we're going to do another topic one day on is movie tropes that need to die.
Oh, yeah.
And it's the the villains don't know how to aim. So apparently Tony disabled his aiming mechanism or whatever, so he's just like 10 feet away shooting at him, and Tony's not moving, he's just missing. I'm like, okay. I would have got it if he missed like one and also it barely missed, but it's like way off.
Just shoot like the ground next to Tony.
Exactly.
But there's a thing called
it was a skylight.
Radius.
It was a skylight, and Tony's hanging from it. And Tony's not moving. Just shoot in that area. It's not like going like this is gonna throw off. This is all Obadiah was doing.
Exactly. The suit is giant.
True.
So this is more like 10 feet over there.
Exactly.
But come on, you shoot one and then you correct, right? You shoot one, you go, oh, that's 10 feet to the left, so you move left.
Exactly. But he never moves his arm. He just keeps. And
it's like stormtroopers, man. They're there just to shoot at things, but they never hit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I still don't understand like the big suits like that one, the Ironmonger and Hulkbuster, because they're like humongous compared to like the regular Iron Man suit, right? And I don't know how far into the arms his arms go.
You don't.
I didn't. Okay.
Because in the Iron what is it? The Hulkbuster suit, he gets its arm ripped off.
Yeah, you don't see the arm.
Yeah.
So unless it's like 2 little joysticks or something in there. I'm sure there's a reason they didn't explain it, and that's probably why.
Yeah.
Like how the mechanics of it work.
And if you look at the Hulkbuster in Infinity War,
Because
what's
it's
his
just
face's head
Ruffalo.
is in the head.
Yeah.
Like he's up
from
there.
where it is,
Yeah.
like his legs should make it to like the thighs.
Not
maybe.
even make it to like
his
the
feet
middle
anyway.
of the chest.
Yeah,
That thing's
like-
huge.
I don't understand that. So.
It's probably just Tony probably just has it to where.
Yeah.
I think it would be weird to be in that kind of sort of suit. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Back to Iron Man. Anything else? This one's a really good one. Even considering it was the first, it was a really good one.
Well, it needed to be good. Jon Favreau's a really good director.
Mm-hmm.
He knows what he's doing. You know what I mean? And I think they did a good job by like giving him the reins to the whole thing. They're like, here, we need you to pull this off, and he's like, I got you.
Yeah.
You know? I love that hamburger I am Iron Man scene at the end. You know what I mean? 'Cause that kind of defines the whole thing at that point. That
That
There's
was
no
a
secrets.
best example of roll credits. Whenever, because I am Iron Man, and then just credits.
Yeah.
Every time we go to see a movie, if they say the title, and we always go to each other, roll credits.
Roll credits. And what's it called? What's the post credit scene? This is like the first
Setup
setup for a post credit scene. And it's a good one.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you knew what they were talking about, you're like, oh, no way.
Yeah.
I remember when I saw it as a kid, I went and Googled it after, and I was like, there's no way they're gonna pull that off, right?
Yeah.
Here we are.
Right.
10 years later, they've done it 3 times.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a pretty big deal. I was like, who's Nick Fury? Nick Fury, leader of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Yeah.
puts together the Avengers. You're like, oh, okay. What's S.H.I.E.L.D.? And then you just get into this whole rigmarole. You're like, wow, they're really going for it. Yeah. So, okay. So where do you think Iron Man is in the top 18?
I'm gonna say
7.
I was gonna say 6 or 7.
All right.
I was trying to think of the other ones, but it probably shouldn't be allowed. It should probably just be off the cuff ranking.
Yeah, it'll move,
Yeah.
to be honest.
But I think 7's a good spot for it.
Yeah. Because it's not, listen, it's good, but there are movies that are better than it that have come out, right? But the whole reason that those movies even exist is because of this movie.
Oh, yeah.
So it holds a special place in the Marvel ethos, It's because this is the first. Screw Incredible Hulk. It had no
You need to tell your story about that this week.
Oh my god. All right. Well, I might as well. Let's rank this one and then I'll tell the story.
Okay.
So, Power Stone boner score. What's it get you?
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
You hear that music, and you're like, I'm ready. Cinematography. It's not groundbreaking, but it's pretty good CGI for the time.
Fine.
Yeah. Is it better than 50%?
Sure.
Okay. Rewatchability?
Yeah. It's a good one.
Might say so.
Yeah.
Overall impressions?
Oh, yeah.
It's very high.
Very high.
I always am fond of this movie. And if people are like, it's a good one to start off on. If you want to like crank through the whole thing, obviously it's a good one to start off. It's the first one, but it's like you don't feel bad. You're not like, listen, this one's gonna be bad. It's gonna get better though. You know what I mean? You're like, no, go watch Iron Man. You'll like it.
Yeah.
It's like I have to always preface like Thor. It's gonna be rough, but you need to watch it to make sense of Avengers. You know what I mean? So it's definitely higher impression. It's engagement. It's pretty much a action-packed thrill ride the whole time.
Yeah.
There's not much slow. Tony Stark doesn't really do anything slow. You know what I mean?
Mm-mm.
Plus, you got like Paul Bettany as his assistant Jarvis. You know what I mean? It's like even those scenes when he's developing are like funny and cool because he's got his little stupid robots that are trying to make him coffee and stuff. Mm-hmm. And then the story.
Yeah. Just if we gave it to Thor, we have to give it to this one.
True. Because for the same exact reason, Iron Man's story is pretty good. Obadiah's story is not very interesting whatsoever.
But this is an Iron Man movie.
Exactly. So a 6 out of 6.
Yeah, first one.
Good for it. I'm proud of it. A full
One
snap.
of us is dead. Not sure which one.
Who knows?
Pretty good.
It doesn't pick and choose. Am I right?
Incredible Hulk story.
All right. So the reason I hate Incredible Hulk so much, one, because it's a doo-doo movie. Okay.
Yeah.
The one redeeming quality of that movie, I think, is Abomination. He looks pretty good. You know what I mean? Plus, we've never seen him before other than that.
Yeah.
And he looks pretty sick. But so I remember it was like, so you know when you were a kid, right? You'd have birthday parties. You'd like go to a pool or something like that, and bring a whole bunch of people. Yeah, or like, you know, invite a bunch of people over or do something like that. You know, your mom would set it up and everything like that. So one of my birthdays was going to watch this because it opened in what's it called? It opened in June or something like that, like a summer movie. And I had like 8 of my friends there, and we were all like excited to watch this movie. And then it was very bad, and I was just like, and my mom was like, and everybody was like, and we were just like, so I have really bad memories of this because it basically is like a good old birthday ruiner. You know what I mean? You've had one.
Oh yeah, Fantastic Four.
Exactly. You're excited to go see a movie, and you have all your friends there. You're all hype and ready to go, and then it's just like, so, not very fond of the old, what's it called? It's such a bad movie.
Yeah, it's not even like, it's not all the movie's fault. You know what I mean? Like it depends on like if it wasn't a party or something like that.
Yeah.
It wouldn't have been like as bad an experience.
True.
So
true. It's because I had high expectations for it, and it was like the one thing I chose to do for my birthday, and then it was just like, this movie's just not that interesting. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's kind of, eh. Yep. What you looking at?
Oh, my notes.
Gotcha. Anything else you want to say on these 2 movies?
No.
Okay.
I'm good.
Are you ready for 8 for debate?
Sure.
All right.
This one's a good one.
This is a good one. Funny thing, you texted me. You're like, we got to make sure we don't have the same one. I was like, we absolutely do not have the same one.
Okay.
And
well, because
you'll find out why.
Mine's definitely your territory here. That's why I had to make sure.
Really?
Yeah. But you said yours is from a book, so I was like,
it's
I got time to read.
It's only in a book. I didn't read it either. I just audiobooked that thing. But
who listens to things?
I do. Are you ready?
Anyone listen to us right now?
So we're doing which character in basically any type of media
Anything.
needs
Books, movies, TVs.
Needs a solo film first. Right?
Solo, origin, whatever. Yeah.
So, go for it. What's yours?
All right. Mine, it's not a superhero, which it would be easy to pick here because there's a crap ton. But mine is Furiosa from Mad Max.
Wow.
Yeah. All right. So, superhero movies, as good as they are and how much we love them, they're not everyone's cup of tea. And Mad Max is probably the best action movie within the last 5 years.
I would agree.
Right?
I would agree.
And besides Tom Hardy, she's a standout character by far. So, and I'm sure, especially now since the success of Wonder Woman with like a lead woman actor, this would be great for the industry. And if it's done by the same people, it'd be a great movie in general. Right? So you can see her, how she lost her arm, her trying to rescue people.
I do not disagree with this at all. I think that is a great idea.
Yeah.
The only thing I would say is, but I like Mad Max. Like I like Tom Hardy as Mad Max.
I'm saying, but yeah.
Maybe do like a sequel, but 90% of the movie is flashbacks to Furiosa's past.
Yeah.
Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so you can still have Tom Hardy in there as Mad Max.
You just want Tom Hardy.
Dude, I do. It's just, I think that's the best role he's done in like a little bit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I just love that movie so much.
Yeah.
And I'm just hoping they crank out another one before Miller dies.
No, yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Because if he does Like that Furiosa movie?
Yeah.
That'd be great.
Oh, it'll be good.
Yeah.
It'll be good.
It'd be
That's a great one.
some great car scenes. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, so it'd be I'm very interested to see more of that character. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? Because
Yeah,
she's very interesting. She's badass too.
Mhm.
She's not messing around. So mine is Darth Bane, which you've probably never heard of. Darth Bane is like if you took all the biggest bads in all of Star Wars, that being General Grievous, Count Dooku, Darth Maul, Darth Vader, Emperor Palpatine, all those guys, they pale in comparison to this guy.
Okay.
He is pure dark side power. And the coolest thing is we were talking about villains last week and how a good villain is one that you can understand.
Yeah.
And Darth Bane is a perfect example of that because he is evil, right? But you're like, I get it. And the reason is because he grew up, his dad dies when he's really young, and he grew up as a miner in some planet off in the outer rim, right? And so he's like constantly being bullied and stuff like that because the miners are just mean to each other. And he sees the Imperials kill his friends and all this stuff. And dude, he is no joke. Like his entire goal in life is to seek out these holocrons, which are things that Sith make, and they store their knowledge of the dark side. And the dude, he can literally just like for example, he gets poisoned at one point, and he uses the dark side to basically just expel the poison from him. He's like on the brink of death, and he's really close to dying, and he's just like laying in the middle of nowhere, and all of a sudden this family comes up to him and it's like, "Are you okay?" And he needs anger and fear to power the dark side, so he just starts murdering them. And like little children and stuff, and he's like he uses that to fuel the dark side. So this would be like a rated R movie, hard as shit. Like you would not want to bring your kids to this. This would be the Deadpool of the Star Wars universe.
I was about to say, you think they could do a Star Wars?
They probably couldn't, but this is all theoretical. And dude, this movie would just be sick. And they have plenty of what's it called, stuff to pull from. You know what I mean?
A lot of resources.
Oh yeah, he's the guy that implemented the rule of two, which is what they use in that's what the Emperor Palpatine uses, is you have one leader and one apprentice, and then one day your apprentice will surpass the leader, and that leader now takes a new apprentice. Because if you spread out like the Jedi, they become weak.
Yeah.
Whereas if you have two, you have one insanely powerful person and one person that's almost as powerful, and one day will surpass. That way you exponentially grow your power. Yeah. He's the guy that invented that. Actually, the second book is called Rule of Two. Yeah.
Nice.
Back to Furiosa. Would you, I don't know. Would you, no, because she's lived in that the whole time. Would you, she's just like, she's just a gas runner though. Yeah. So, what would you, if you had to be the writer or director of this movie, what would you make her story? Because you can't make it like she's rebellious because...
Well, I would set it after Fury Road.
Okay, smart.
Yeah, after they killed Immortan Joe.
Yep.
And they give that. I would like to see her go to the local towns. And
like
just
the Gas Town.
Like Gas Town, Bullet Farm. I think there's another one.
And liberate them?
And liberate.
That would be sick.
That'd be sick. You'd get sick chases.
Oh yeah.
Probably get some good hand to hand.
Yeah, I think what the
one arm to hand.
I think what the Mad Max universe could use is going to somewhere real.
Okay.
Not real. All of it's real. Going to somewhere built. You know what I mean? And having like in the streets fights. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like, can you imagine what Gastown looks like? It's probably insanity. I mean, you see it off in the distance, and it looks like a bunch of smokestacks and stuff like that. But you could have some insane, like, action sequences in there. I just imagine people with like grappling guns or something like that, just like flying around on chains and stuff like that. That would be sick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It would be.
Plus, you could do all that fast cutting, hard hitting like gun play that they, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like
Everything great about the first or Fury Road.
Yep.
Yeah.
That would be sick. Anything you see a flaw in my pitch?
It's just no one would know.
I think that's yeah.
Be like, who? Is that Bane from Batman?
True.
He's a Sith now. What?
It's like you're right. That would be the hardest part, you know.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's like.
But who? I mean,
Rogue Ones. No one knew who they were.
But everybody knew the Death Star plans were stolen. So this is just the story of that team that stole the Death Star plans.
Mm-hmm. I'm sure if they made really good trailers for it,
mm-hmm.
it'd be a good thing.
I also think we need to do that because there's too much retreading what we already know. You know
Same
what I mean?
characters all over.
Yeah, like they're planning on doing an Obi-Wan movie, which I would be fine with because I love Ewan McGregor and Obi-Wan.
Yeah.
But it's like we know that character. We know this section. We know this section. You don't have to fill in every little detail. You know,
exactly.
We can go somewhere else.
Like a Boba Fett or a movie. That'd be
no
great.
one cares. That's the exact same thing. It's like Boba Fett's an open and closed character. Like just because people like him because of his aesthetics does not mean we need to go deeper into his character.
Sure.
I think Han Solo's a perfect example of that. It's like we have a good Han Solo character, and then you had to throw this in there and kind of ruin it. And I think this would be like stepping away from the characters we know and expanding it and maybe revitalizing the whole thing, you know? Because if you ask me, Star Wars is kind of on a downhill right now.
Yeah. Well, I'm thinking back because I was a huge Star Wars fan as a kid, and playing like Battlefront 2, and when you could do the heroes versus villains, I was never the heroes.
Exactly.
They all got boring.
Yeah.
Like there's so much cooler stuff you could do. That would translate so well to movies, like Darth Bane, for instance.
Yeah.
Like if they just have so much cooler stuff they can do.
Oh, dude, and I mean, I don't want to get into it. I could talk about him all day, but the stuff he can do with the dark side is incredible.
Exactly.
I mean, he fights like 10 Jedi at once, and his apprentice basically gets knocked out in the first 2 minutes, and he just goes off. Like you're like, oh god.
Yeah.
And the Jedis have this dude that's like meditating, because there's battle meditation, and it like makes you know what I mean? Like makes everyone that's fighting on the light side more powerful, and he's just like still wrecking them. Yeah. And like I said earlier, he's so powerful and huge because he's a miner, right? So he's like a massive guy that sometimes people would put up their lightsaber to block him, and he would just drive his and their own lightsaber through them, just straight through them. And you're just like, oh my god, this is a pure.
He looks badass.
Are you looking him up?
Yeah.
So you're probably seeing some images where he has like some weird skin.
Yeah, it's like like
one of the holocrons. Oh yeah, one of the holocrons he goes and finds is in this temple that has these I forget what they're called, but they're like these basically beetles that have husk, and they're force repellent, right? And they grow, and so he gets them stuck on him. And they start to grow and climb up his neck, so he creates this helmet that keeps him from getting to his head. But he lets them take over the rest of his body because he can draw the force from them, and it blocks everything else. So he's like, he will do anything to become more powerful, like sacrificing his entire body. You know what I mean? Like he's basically just a dude covered in beetles, and you know he can't feel or touch or love or anything ever again, but he is powerful. Oh my god, he's a crazy dude.
Yeah.
I just think it would be interesting to explore that side of the Star Wars universe, because we got plenty of Rebels, we got plenty of Resistance and all that, you know. Be interesting to see the old school where there was no factions. It was just all Sith versus all Jedi. You know what I mean? There was no like armies or anything like that. I think that'd be cool. Yeah. All right, man. What's your unpopular opinion for the week?
All right. Mine's not movie, TV, anything related. It's just like a PSA.
Okay. That's fair.
All right. Ranch does not belong on food that isn't salad. Okay.
What?
Ranch belongs on salad and salad only.
No, it doesn't.
Yes, it does. Pizza on with ranch, disgusting.
Hold on. Can I? French fries?
Disgusting. Okay, this is
Wings?
Disgusting. Listen.
False.
As a hot food connoisseur, I love spice.
Okay, all right.
I love spice, right? If you're getting wings, ranch just cancels out any
It does.
flavor you ever get.
No, it doesn't cancel out flavor. It cancels out heat, though. That's for sure.
Yeah, hot wings.
Not gonna lie.
Yeah.
As a hot wing connoisseur, you would probably say that.
Yes.
French fries, though, man. Come on.
No.
Dude.
Mm-mm. Ranch goes nowhere near food that isn't salad.
That's a very unpopular opinion.
Yeah.
That's a strong one.
Yeah. I'm very firm on this.
Okay, all right.
And pizza. Okay.
All right, people who put out pizza,
thing,
they're insane.
One thing is to get like a separate thing or put it on your plate and dip it. But people that just pour ranch on pizza, man.
Oh, I know people that put mayonnaise on pizza.
Go and get your girlfriend, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
And,
I remember that.
Yep.
Megan.
And she tried to get close to me. I'm like, get away from me. You're dead to me right now. I don't want anything to do with you.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Oh, that's
It's my least favorite.
so. That was I had to get that one out.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, I have a massive
Oh.
I told you I was
about
going to
this
do
one
some
last week.
research on it. Can you see my screen?
No.
This, you can't see that? This is my unpopular opinion.
Holy crap.
It's
That's like a paragraph.
It's a cranker. All right. So this probably isn't an unpopular opinion when I finally get done with it, but some people might be like, no.
We'll see how I feel.
This is the worst summer movie season of all time.
Okay.
Would you agree or disagree?
Depends on when you start summer.
I think it's late April to late September. That's the summer movie season.
Okay. It depends.
Let me give you some context.
You talk. I'll decide later.
Let me give you some context. All right, I'm going to start with the two biggest
Flops.
infringes
Okay.
upon our movie viewing experience, because they should be good, and there's no reason why they shouldn't be. That would be Solo, which is bland, boring, and keeps a lot of what the old movies, the prequels did bad, which is bad. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
for example, it has a lot of the same pacing that the Clone Wars does. And you never want that in a movie, because
Yeah.
the Clone Wars is the slowest, blandest, boringest movie on the planet. You know what I mean? And Solo's right up there with it. Now, Solo's much more interesting as like characters and visual and everything like that, but it has the same sort of pacing. It's also, you get to the 2:30 or the 2 hour mark, and you're like, oh my God, is this over yet? You know what I mean? And then there's a whole nother sequence of events that happened after that, and you're like, Jesus. If you don't know what I'm talking about, it's when they meet Infus Nest for the second time, and you're just like, holy crap, dude. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, you could totally cut down this story in 10 different ways. Also, they ruined Chewie.
Really?
Do you mind?
I'm not gonna see it.
Chewie is a Imperial captive, and they use him as basically like a Rancor pit. They just throw people at him, and he eats them. He eats them, Lige. Big fluffy Chewie murders and eats people.
Did they make that up, or is that
No,
from
that's-
something?
No, I don't know if they pulled that from a comic or something like that, but if you did, you pulled it from the wrong one, brother. That's not the one to choose from.
It's probably one canon. I bet they pulled it.
It's so bad. I don't know why. It's like it ruins like the love and fluffiness that is,
Mhm.
you know? He's like giant, menacing, can beat your ass, but he's nice, you know?
Yeah.
Dude. Okay.
And even in the prequels, he was nice. All of the Wookiees were.
Yeah. I mean, they basically just want to be Wookiees, but then people have to come and mess it up. You know what I mean? But, dude, I don't know. All right. And then the other one that's really, really, really bad is... Oh, yeah. By the way, Solo has a 70 on Rotten Tomatoes.
Seems high.
It is high, but it's also incredibly low for a Star Wars movie. What's it called? The Last Jedi has like an 80-something. and people hate that movie with a passion. So for Solo to have like gone under the radar a little bit, you know what I mean? And people don't really like shout and cry about how bad it was, kind of blows my mind because it's much worse than Last Jedi. Okay? All right. And then you got Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom, which is just a why. I don't even want to get into it. Just why? Why?
Yeah, no
why are
reason
you
to make
creating this
Besides
shit?
Money grab.
You also went and recreated the second Jurassic Park movie, which is arguably the worst. If not 3. 3 is pretty bad. Also, it got a fat 49% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Yep.
Okay. All right. Now let's go into some of the other movies that have been released this summer, which some of them you probably never even heard of. Okay, Breaking In. Have you heard of it?
Nope.
It's about all the marketing was like a mother's revenge or something like that. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Talking about Peppermint?
No, you're thinking about Peppermint. That's on here later. Don't worry.
Okay, good. I was going to make sure you mentioned Peppermint.
Peppermint's on here later. Dude, 27% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Nice.
AK, that's a waste of your time. Anything under 30%.
Don't spend money on that.
Anything under 30% is like you're totally wasting your time. Life of the Party. Melissa McCarthy trying to make comedy still.
Yeah.
38%.
She had another one.
Gotti, which is a John Travolta movie about a New York mobster.
I'm guessing Gotti.
Named Gotti. It has a 0% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Jesus.
0.
Guess he didn't do any scenes.
John Travolta, you're not good anymore. Terminal is a shitty movie with amazing actors. This movie has tons of good actors in it. And I can Google it if you want, but let me. I should have wrote these down. I think I meant to go back and write them down. But Terminal has Margot Robbie.
Oh.
It's got Margot Robbie. It's got Simon Pegg. It's got Mike Myers. You know?
Yeah.
It's got some interesting people in it, and it's like doo-doo. 20% Rotten Tomatoes. Action Point.
Garbage. That's Johnny Knoxville.
Johnny Knoxville, please quit killing yourself for shitty movies.
Yeah.
18% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Got a little old.
Hotel Artemis should have been so much better. Think of a movie that what's his face has been in.
How do I know?
The wrestler that plays Drax.
Batista.
Oh,
that one.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That
Should have been
better.
so much better.
Yeah,
but then
that
they
should have been better.
it's not that good.
That sucks.
58%. Probably the highest on here. Actually, the next one is Incredibles 2.
Kids didn't deserve that movie.
It's not good. Dude, it has a 94% on Rotten Tomatoes. That's bullshit. Someone's paying somebody, okay? That movie is not that good.
Yeah.
Okay? Because I can go back and watch Incredibles 1, and it is 3,000 times better. It didn't capture the same magic as the first movie. That's for sure, right?
Yeah.
What's it called? It's just a retread. It's the exact same story over again, but you take what Mr. Incredible was in the first movie, and you swap it with Miss Incredible. That's it. That's the only change. Because Mr. Incredible had the opportunity in the first movie, remember?
Yeah.
And Miss Incredible is the home. So, ridiculous. And then, again, the kids and the other person have to come save the day. Weird placement of characters. Like, what's his face?
Frozen.
Vanos has a character in there.
What? Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
It's just weird. It's like they're trying to sell it to, like, his audience or something.
I'm sure it was big for him, though.
Yeah, and I mean, cool for him and everything. That's just weird, though.
Mm-hmm.
You know? And his character's not good. He's it's like an owl character that, like, they don't even define. Never mind. It's dumb. Also, epilepsy warning. Like, 90% of, like, I was at the theater and the kid in front of me couldn't watch it because he had epilepsy and he had to cover his eyes every 10 minutes.
Yeah, you mentioned it last week in the first week.
94% is ridiculous. Sicario 2, you ruined it. It was good.
The first one was so good.
It was good. You shouldn't have made another one.
Yeah.
If you were gonna make another one, you should have made it as good as the first one. It has a fat 60% on Rotten Tomatoes, which is pretty good, but not as good as Sicario 1, which has probably in the 90s. The first Purge. Are we done making Purge movies yet?
There's a TV show now.
Stop. We don't care. 54%. Ant-Man and the Wasp. Listen.
Bad time.
Bad timing. That movie would have been fine any other time. Don't follow up the best Marvel movie of all time with Ant-Man and the Wasp. You know?
Yep.
This is on here not because it's a horrible movie, because it's poor planning.
Yeah.
And which scares me because Marvel's never been bad at planning, you know?
Yeah.
It's also kind of forgettable. People don't really talk about it that much. You know what I mean? People are talking about Infinity War now
Still
more than Ant-Man and the
Yeah.
Wasp. The only reason Ant-Man and the Wasp is talked about nowadays is because the Particle Accelerator is in that picture that the Russos tweeted out. 88%. That's pretty good. Hotel Transylvania 3. Oh my god.
the fact there was more than one.
Exactly. It's like it's the Minions thing. You know what I mean?
Oh,
Just keep making them. Why not? You know, because they're bad. Just stop. You know what I mean? Skyscraper. The Rock does not equal
one-legged
one-legged
Die Hard.
Just because you put The Rock in it does not mean it's good. And The Rock, please, please, please stop making crap movies. You're ruining your career. Like, I'm sure you're making plenty of money.
Oh, he's the most paid actor of all
But do
time?
you want to be known for making money, or do you want to be known for making good movies?
Yeah.
I think
laying the
Legacy's...
smacketh down.
I feel like Legacy's a little more important than money at this point because he's plenty rich enough.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And there's people in the film industry that are doing 10 times better than him as wrestlers. Dave Bautista is a good example of that.
Yeah.
He makes good movies.
I mean, even John Cena.
Yeah. He makes better movies than The Rock, I would say.
Yeah. Like, I recently watched Blockers.
Mm-hmm.
And John Cena's, like, by far the best character in that. He is great in that.
He knows what he's doing.
Yeah.
And we'll see how he is in Bumblebee.
Oh, yeah, that should be good.
I'm hoping that's a good movie, and I hope he's good in that.
Oh, that was another trailer, by the way. We didn't mention it.
True. We'll talk about that in a second. All right. Almost done here. The Meg. Ugh is all I can say.
The
Ugh.
mug.
You ruined Rainn Wilson. Don't do it again. 46%. Slender Man? Little late on that one, huh?
I was about to say, that was the words I was about to say, man.
I have it written down. Yeah. No, a little late there.
That was like sophomore year of high school.
Exactly. That's when that was popular. And they took
That was way too.
5 years to make a movie about it. 7%. All right. Mile 22. Mark Wall who?
It's got Rhonda in it. Rousey. I know that.
What are we doing?
I don't know.
24%. Forgettable. No one wants to see it. Axel. A.X.L. It's about a robot dog from space.
Nope.
That movie had a $10 million budget, right? $6 million it's made.
Nice.
22%. That's a failure. The Happy Time Murders, probably the biggest infringement of all time. This really just like, what are you doing? What was the thought process? Interesting fact about this movie, they had to spend, so normally when you make a movie, you spend about whatever your budget is times 2.
Mm-hmm.
No, not you spend your budget again on marketing. So if a Star Wars movie is $250 million, they spend $250 million on marketing. And you can tell this because whenever Star Wars comes out, it's everywhere. Whenever Justice League comes out, it's everywhere. You know? Marvel, everywhere. I mean, they even get Twitch streamers to sponsor. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
And then Happy Time Murders had to spend 1.5 times their budget because they had to tell parents not to take their kids to it because it's a Muppet movie. Because it's a gory, sex-driven.
Rated R?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, it's got Melissa McCarthy in it, like, you know.
I don't know who our audience was.
Nobody's going to watch that. I mean, you guys you guys watch comedies all the time, and I bet you guys weren't even thinking about going to see this.
She had one movie, Spy.
It was pretty good.
That was pretty good.
Yeah. Oh, hold on. So they spent $60 million on marketing, $40 million budget, $22 million it's made. Dude, it's currently $78 million in the hole. And it ain't gonna make it back because I don't think anybody's coming out of that movie and spreading the word of mouth. That's how you make money, is by people going, you need to go see that. What else did I say that? You spent how much money on marketing, making sure kids didn't see shitty Muppets rip off with cum?
Yeah.
Melissa McCarthy, come on, girl. What are you doing? Fix your career.
Yeah.
Yeah. It has a 22. And comedies normally get a good little what do you call it? Handicap on ratings because critics know that it's not trying to be a perfect movie. So normally comedies don't really drip below 40%, you know? So the fact that this comedy is below 30% is rough.
Yeah.
And then finally Ken, you don't even know it existed.
Yeah. So I was just
22,
what you just said about the
22%.
handicap for comedies. I just look up Blockers because that's like the most recent one I've watched. I just looked at it and forgot. 83.
Exactly. I looked up a comedy that I thought was kind of like a niche, not really the greatest movie on the planet, but it's pretty good. The Simpsons movie.
Yeah.
89%.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like it's not hard to make a comedy that gets good ratings. You know?
Exactly.
Because you kind of have a handicap. All you have to do is be funny. That movie's not funny, and they wasted money.
Yeah, and it's not like you don't have to tell a joke just to tell a joke. Like if it's in the spur sort of moment where a joke works, that's when you tell a joke.
Yeah,
or
like The
a
Simpsons,
situational thing.
Like The Simpsons, like they're trying to get out and they find the hole, and what's his face is like giving the finger as he's going down, and then he stops.
Yeah,
that's a good joke because it's situational.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's a culmination of the movies that came out this summer. I would say it has, from the ones I picked, I'd say it probably has an average of about 33% on Rotten Tomatoes. That's
that zero
garbage.
brings it down.
Yeah, it's 0. That's like a grade, man. It's in the 7 on Slender Man.
Yeah. I'm trying to think, but if you're gonna say good ones that came out this summer, Infinity War or Deadpool 2?
Infinity War, Deadpool 2, and I'd say Mission Impossible.
Oh yeah, true. But that's it. We haven't had a good movie in a while.
The reason I brought this up and I made it my unpopular opinion, which, like I said, probably not unpopular, but I needed to get it out there, is because
PSA.
PSA. I've constantly been trying to go to the movies. You know what I mean? Like me and Megan will try to look up a movie to go to, and I'm like, there's nothing.
What movie did you just go see?
I'll tell you in a minute.
Oh.
All right. What's your sleeper?
It's it was one of those movies that I'm like, well, it's almost time for bed. I'll throw on a movie until I go to sleep. But then I was like, oh, never mind. So I said I watched the entire thing. It is 42. It's the movie about Jackie Robinson.
Oh, really?
Yeah. It's on Netflix now.
Is it good?
Oh, it's real good. You know who plays Jackie Robinson? I didn't know this because I watched it when I was younger, but I didn't know this guy. It's Chadwick Boseman.
I was about to say.
He plays Jackie Robinson. It's a really good movie.
I should watch that then because I like Chadwick Boseman.
Mm-hmm.
I like
it's
him
real
a lot. That's cool.
Mm-hmm. It has
How much baseball knowledge do I need to know?
Oh, none.
Okay, good. Because I don't know anything about baseball.
Yeah, you don't need to know much. There's Harrison Ford's in it.
Okay.
He's a pretty good actor. Alan Tudyk.
Okay.
You know, he
That's
plays a racist. It's
really
like a hardcore racist. Like they don't shy away from the realism of the 40s.
Is it like a what do you call it? Is it like a Quentin Tarantino movie? Slapping that N-word around like all over the place.
Yeah, but this one's more realistic because he's the first black baseball player in MLB.
I was just saying, what's his face likes to use the N-word all the time.
Yeah.
You might be like a closet racist. I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah.
All right, my sleeper is the movie I went to go see.
Okay.
Because, like I said, I was looking for a movie to go watch, and I was like, oh my god, there's nothing good. So I just clicked on this movie, and it said 98%, and I was like, wow, that's pretty high, and that normally means good things. You know what I mean? It's down to a 92 now, but it's called Searching.
Okay.
And it's about a guy trying to solve the disappearance of his daughter, but it's shot completely through computer screens.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah. And you would think that would get old, but they do a really good job of pacing the movie well and switching like between text and emails and news feeds and FaceTime videos. And it has an interesting twist in it. Not to give anything away, but I think people should go watch that because those are the movies we need to be supporting. Not fucking
Happy Time,
gaudy, Action Point, Incredibles 2, Ant-Man. Never mind. Skyscraper, The Meg.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
These movies don't need to be supported because they need to be stopped. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's not. It doesn't take a lot of money, and it doesn't take a lot. It doesn't take a previous property to make a good movie. This is based on something completely different. No prior. You know what I mean? Not based on a book, anything like that.
It's original.
It cost nothing to make because they shot it all through a computer screen, and it's probably one of the best movies of the summer.
Yeah. Probably, what, about $100 for an Elgato? You're good.
I mean, basically, I mean, it's not real.
Yeah.
Like they got Apple to approve them using like FaceTime and stuff like that, but it's not real. Like they shot it on a camera and then put it together to look like FaceTime.
Yeah.
But that costs nothing, and the camera's not even that good because it does that thing. You know how FaceTime like pixelates every once in a while? It does that.
Yeah.
Like it's realistic like that. Like there are some movies that. What's the movie that came out a while ago? It was about Skype. Girl.
Unfriended.
When you watch that movie, the cameras that are on the kids are like gorgeous. They're like crisp, and you're like, yeah, this is fake as hell.
They almost have Google Fiber.
Exactly. Like never drop a bit ever. Yeah. So that's a really good movie. I think people should go watch it.
Mm-hmm. And another one I recently watched. It's kind of what gave me the idea for movie tropes that need to die.
Okay.
It's still a good one, but
it has some movie tropes in it.
Well, it does, but then it does a really good job explaining why.
Okay.
It's Extinction on Netflix. It's a Netflix original.
Oh, I know the twist in this movie.
Yeah. So I was like, because the movie trope is dad can beat up army guys. You know what I mean? Like super dad. Just a dad with no training. He's some engineer or something. Can just out muscle and outgun or outfight army guys.
Yeah.
Like, why is that in every movie?
Exactly.
But
why is that?
they did a right job at kind of explaining how he could.
Like Taken. It's like
all of
a sudden and he explains later that he's like, a world class like spy or whatever he was doing, but it's kind of like super dad, you know what I mean?
Exactly.
Well,
that should be a fun episode.
What?
Movie tropes that need to die.
I'm excited for it.
That's a good idea.
Because I have a lot that I'm just like, these need to disappear. I mean, a lot of these movies right here have them,
Yeah.
Well, one of my favorites is like whenever you travel to a new place, especially in military movies like Transformers or something like that, it does that shit where it like in the bottom of the screen, it's like it looks like it's decoding wherever it's at. It pops up in blocks and it's like L.A. North. I'm like, get out of here. I like what they did in Civil War. Like whenever they traveled to a new place, it was like
London,
huge on the screen, 2 seconds, boom.
Because I remember it was like London,
Berlin,
yeah.
blank. You know what I mean? I hate like
not everyone's an idiot. Most people are, but not everyone.
Exactly, and you gotta especially for kids movies, you gotta be like, this is Berlin, but like, dude, Transformers, it's like, it's all like fancy and it's like all like these huge exposition, massive drone shots, and you're just like, oh my god.
Speaking of Transformers,
yeah,
you want to talk about Bumblebee?
Let's do it real quick.
Okay.
I think it looks really, really, really freaking good.
Oh, it looks great.
Dude, they look like Transformers.
That was my next sentence.
Dude, did you see Optimus?
Yeah.
You're like, oh my god. That looks right.
Great, man. Like, it's not the all...
Jagged?
Yeah, it's not jagged.
Yeah, it looks like he actually
so
would turn
simple.
into a truck.
Yeah, it's so simple. He's got, like, the windshields in the front.
Oh, yeah.
Like, the cartoons and stuff.
And I like Bumblebee's, like, attitude through the whole thing, It's just the way he's, like, carefree and fun, you know what I mean? By the way, at the beginning of the trailer, she has the car, right? And something flops out.
You think it's his nether regions?
It's a little sus. Let's just put it that way. It's a little sus. Kind of looks like a dick, dude.
It does.
The way it flops down.
And where?
Yeah, it's
and
underneath.
From where?
I don't know, man. Hopefully it's like makes sense in the movie. You know what I mean? You're like, why'd your gas? Dude, I don't know.
That was funny.
That looks like something.
I thought about the same exact thing. I'm sure a whole lot of people did too.
I'm sure hundreds of people did, And she even like makes like, oh, you know what I mean? She's like, oh, what is that? It's I'm just hoping what's his face doesn't put, because he produces it, right, Michael Bay?
I didn't think so.
Oh, okay. Well, I hope it doesn't have any Michael Bay-isms.
Bad explosions. Army overload.
Sexual innuendos like a dick coming out of the bottom of a car. So, yeah, I think it looks really
Travis
good.
Knight.
That's producer?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Director.
Well, who's the producer?
Hold on.
Because if Michael Bay's the producer, or on there at all, executive producer.
Oh, Michael Bay.
Ah, shit.
Yeah.
It may not, listen, just because you're a producer does not mean you have, like, complete control. Like, the director has complete visual control and everything like that. But he could put his 2 cents in.
So I was looking at the cast, and it's like Haley Steinfeld character. This one doesn't have a name. Optimus Prime. Then there's Vanessa Ross, and her character,
Uh-huh.
the Mean Girl.
No way.
That's just what it says, the Mean Girl.
So she's going to get bullied at school or something like that? She's the mean girl? That's funny.
Probably makes fun of the car. That's my guess.
I'm excited for it, though. Because I do like robots punching each other.
Yeah.
But I don't know if I can put up with the story of Transformers. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It's just so mind-numbing. By the time you get to the punching robots, you're like, this isn't good enough. You know what I mean? But if this has a good story and punching robots.
Yeah.
Also, if they do the IMAX to regular black bars on top, switch back and forth every single time, I'm going to lose my mind. Like, okay, go watch a Transformers movie.
Yeah.
Okay? The scenes with people talking and no CGI, there will be, it will be, what's it called? It'll have black bars on the top and bottom. And the minute it switches to CGI, it goes to IMAX camera and it expands. And if you pay attention to that, or if you see it once, I'm sorry, but now you're going to see it, you will see it through the whole movie and it drives you absolutely bonkers. I've made videos before. Just slap the black bars throughout the whole thing if you want.
Yeah.
Do not switch back and forth. It's bad. All right. You got a daily dose of averageness? You got a daily dose of averageness you want to talk about? Like, what you up to? Did you have one?
FIFA 19's out. Been grinding that.
Yeah? It's out now?
Yeah, it came out Friday.
Gotcha.
So it's been, the trial is out, but.
Have you played that mode yet?
Oh no, I still haven't played that.
Gosh.
I've been grinding Ultimate Team.
I understand.
So that it's so much better.
Who's the craziest person you packed?
The highest rated I've packed was Courtois. It was
pretty good.
90K.
At Real.
90
He's at
rated.
Real now, so
He's
you
at
can't
Real.
slap him in your...
Yeah, I did a pack. Had some alright luck, but I'm up to 600K already just from grinding out.
That's pretty happening.
Mm-hmm.
Good game?
Yeah, the gameplay, it's a lot better than 18, like miles better.
Like fluidity and all that?
Yeah, like it's a lot more realistic.
Gotcha.
Like touches are not always like glued to your foot. If you're, yeah, like if you get a beam right at you, there's no way he's just gonna. Doop.
It'll come off of you.
Yeah, it'll come off of you a little bit.
Gotcha.
I'm trying to think. Arsenal's on a hot streak.
Mm-hmm.
Just beat Watford yesterday. Sorry, bud.
Yeah, my team's kind of took a doo-doo this week. Watford lost to you, and then Chelsea gave up a 1-0 lead over Liverpool because Daniel Sturridge decided to pull out some shit.
Some banger.
Dude, he actually absolutely ripped that.
Yeah.
I don't even think Courtois could have saved that goal. It was going up, and then all of a sudden just boom, straight down.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. Yeah, I've been I got back on Fortnite because Season 6 came out.
Oh yeah.
It's sick.
I've watched some stuff on it.
All the skins and everything, and the Halloween vibes, good, nice and tasty. Yeah, it's a lot of fun, and it got rid of some of the things that were bad in Season 5. Like, no one likes Loot Lake. It's been there forever.
Oh yeah.
So now it's finally like
Doing stuff. It's moving, isn't it?
Well, it's like they made it less impossible to travel. So for like competitively, like me, I play Fortnite competitively. Like that's the only time I really play it. I don't play it for fun anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that is fun to me. That's why I play it competitively. And whenever you got a rotation, right, that pushed you through Loot Lake, you could kiss your win goodbye, because on competitive, people will wait for you to be in a vulnerable position, and if you have to cross Loot Lake, you're like, here we go.
Yep.
You know what I mean? I either have to rotate early to get around the lake, or I have to follow the storm and be stuck out in the middle of the water.
Yeah.
And so now that Loot Lake is like, you can walk through most of the water.
Yeah.
And then there's like a bounce thing in the middle of it, and the house that used to be in the middle of Loot Lake is moving across the map, and it's like it picks you up like a launch pad, so you can use it to get around the map. It's pretty sweet. It's exciting.
Mm-hmm.
They screwed over keyboard on PS4.
Why?
If you start with a keyboard connected, you get in a PC lobby, and then if you start with a controller and try to use your keyboard in game, it locks the input. So it's not that big a deal.
Yeah.
Because I'll just play on PC on PS4, but it's whatever. Kind of annoying. It's like, so if I ever want to play scrims, I have to use a controller.
That sucks.
Yeah, which I haven't used a controller in months, so I'm screwed. But that's about it.
Yeah.
So next week we're going to do Robot Showdown.
Yeah, we're going to do a giant.
So I'm curious, I was thinking, so do you have a list of the ones that you want to do?
I have 16.
So are you going to put them in the, what's it called? Or do you want to do that on air next
Since
week?
it's only 16, we should do it on air.
Yeah, it makes it
It's not
interesting.
going to take that long.
Because I think it's funny or fun to watch which ones come up against each other.
Yeah.
Or keep it a secret. You know, I'll feed you the numbers, and you'll write them down, and you'll be like, ooh.
Yeah.
Especially when we did the 128. That was nuts.
Oh,
Because it was
man,
like there were some crazy ones against each other. So,
Yeah,
all right. Sounds good.
it does.
Anything else you want to say?
I don't think so.
All right. See you next week for Movie Robot Showdown.
Yep, episode 4.
All right, brother.
Should be fun.
Peace.
See ya.
Bye.